For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today.
The news is I am confident that the outpouring of unity and strength and fellowship and love across Charleston today, from all races, from all faiths, from all places of worship, indicates the degree to which those old vestiges of hatred can be overcome.
Here's what we know, right, in the face of all this shite, is that tragedy tests leaders. It asks of them whether their instinct is to heal or to divide. And in the wake of Donald Trump's Oval Office speech and subsequent press conferences after the assassination of Charlie Kirk, it's clear what he intends to do.
And we're going to look into that.
What do we do about our country with that? Because we have radicals on the right as well. We have radicals on the left. How do we fix this country? How do we come back together?
I'll tell you something that's going to get me in trouble, but I couldn't care less. The radicals on the right oftentimes are radical because they don't want to see crime.
And as a result, many have taken to social media, including Meidas's own Ben Meiselas, to remind people of how a true leader spoke to violence.
Think about the Charleston church shooting back on June 17th, 2015, where that lunatic terrorist, Dylan Roof, killed 9 African Americans in the church during their Bible study at the Emmanuel African Methodist Episcopal Church, which was the oldest Black church in the southern United States. The motives were very clear. It was racist. It was anti-Black. Former President Obama at the time was the president. He did not speak from the Oval Office and say, this is on the hands of Republicans. You have been spreading anti-Black rhetoric. You are the ones responsible, and Americans need to rid the country of. He didn't do that. What did he say? What you're supposed to say, what you're supposed to do, what good people should do. That this is a time where we need to come together.
President Obama, as we know, called for more good and unity after the Charleston church massacre back in 2015. Whereas President Trump, well, I mean, just listen for yourself.
Radical left political violence has hurt too many innocent people and taken too many lives. Tonight, I ask all Americans to commit themselves to the American values for which Charlie Kirk lived and died.
Reservoir of goodness. If we can find that grace, anything is possible. If we can tap that grace, everything can change.
I'm really concerned for our country. We have a great country. We have a radical left group of lunatics out there, just absolute lunatics, and we're going to get that problem solved.
Amazing grace. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound.
Contrast could not be more apparent. It was back in July of 2015 when white supremacist Dylan Roof murdered 9 Black parishioners at the Emmanuel Church in Charleston, a racist terrorist attack on home soil. President Obama was tasked with addressing the nation. He, of course, mourned the victims, but he also spearheaded a call for healing, justice, and compassion. Famously, at the funeral of a reverend killed, Obama broke into Amazing Grace, embodying the message that in the face of hate, we must find a way to unify the country.
Clementa Pinckney found that grace. Cynthia Hurd found that grace. Susie Jackson found that grace. Ethel Lance found that grace. DePayne Middleton Doctor found that grace. Tywanza Sanders found that grace. Daniel L. Simmons Sr. found that grace. Sharonda Coleman Singleton found that grace. Myra Thompson found that grace. Through the example of their lives, they've now passed it on to us. May we find ourselves worthy of that precious and extraordinary gift as long as our lives endure. May grace now lead them home. May God continue to shed His grace on the United States of America.
His words were not about a war or rhetoric coming from the other side. His focus was not on scoring political points, but about uniting a clearly wounded country. Fast forward to today, and after Charlie Kirk's tragic death, Trump's reaction was markedly different. Rather than offering any sort of unifying message, he leaned into grievance, framing the loss through division and conflict, blaming the left for political violence. His allies at Fox News even declared, quote, "They are at war with us," turning the already high temperature up to boiling point.
Trump gets hit in the ear. Charlie gets shot dead. They came after Kavanaugh with a rifle to his neighborhood. They went after Musk's cars. They just shot 2 Jews outside the embassy. Think about it. Scalise got shot, barely survived. It's happening. You got trans shooters. You got riots in LA. They are at war with us. Whether we want to accept it or not, they are at war with us. And what are we going to do about it? How much political violence are we going to tolerate? And that's the question we're just going to have to ask ourselves. Now, Charlie would want us to put as much pressure on these people as possible. Dana nailed it. This is unacceptable and has to stop. And it has to stop now. And everybody's accountable. And we're watching what they're saying on television and who's saying what. The politicians, the media, and all of these rats out there. This can never happen again. It ends now. Greg's right again. This is a turning point, and we know which direction we're going.
We're in a war. The left has been saying put a bullseye on Trump, a bullseye on his supporters.
Charlie Kirk's a casualty of war. We're in this country.
Conveniently, of course, ignoring the violence waged on a Democratic lawmaker just last month as they sought to lean into America's culture wars.
Melissa Hortman was assassinated about 60 days ago. Remember that? Do you know that name? Melissa Hortman. I know you know the name Charlie Kirk. He was assassinated yesterday. Melissa Hortman was a Minnesota Democrat state legislator who was assassinated 60 days or so ago, along with her husband, Melissa Hortman.
And when played side by side, right, the contrast, as I said, could not be more stark. One president confronted with the horror of racial violence and hatred sang of grace and love. Another confronted with evil and hatred spoke of enemies and war. One sought to bring people together across divides. The other sought to further cement the wedge between us.
Have you called the governor yet or been able to speak to any of them?
I don't know. I called him. He appointed this guy to a position. I think the governor of Minnesota is so whacked out. I'm not calling. Why would I call him? I could call him and say, "Hi, how you doing?" The guy doesn't have a clue. He's a mess. So I could be nice and call him, but why waste time?
Well, what for us? Well, everything has changed. If we didn't know it already, there is no longer any middle ground. Some of the American left are undoubtedly well-meaning people, but their ideology is pure evil. They hate the good, the truth, and the beautiful, and embrace the evil, the false, and the ugly. And they literally will kill those with whom they disagree, just as their predecessor, leftist Marx and Stalin and Lenin and Pol Pot and Fidel Castro did. We must know that. And
moments of national grief demand leadership. I mean, they demand words that lift the nation, akin to how Biden even addressed the nation after the attempted assassination of President Trump.
As I said last night, there is no place in America for this kind of violence, or any violence for that matter. An assassination attempt is contrary to everything we stand for as a nation, everything. It's not who we are as a nation. It's not America. And we cannot allow this to happen. Unity is the most elusive goal of all, but nothing is important than that right now, unity. We'll debate and we'll disagree. That's not going to change, but we're going to not lose sight, in fact, who we are as Americans.
But the difference between Barack Obama's Charleston response and Donald Trump's reaction to Charlie Kirk's assassination is a reminder that leadership isn't just about power, right? It's about what you choose to do and say when the country is hurting.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.